you ever just need a week to go your way? I need a whole lot of easy. Hey, it's week 15 if you're training for the Dopey Challenge, Goofy's Race and Half Challenge, or the 25th Anniversary Walt Disney World Marathon. I believe week 5 if you're getting ready for the half marathon. We're in week 14 if you're following the plan for Wine and Dine, and week 13 if you're going to head out to Disneyland to become a superhero. You have a few more weeks if you want to be a prince or a princess and start training for the Fairy Tale Challenge. Now, I'm still having some computer problems, so you're going to notice a bit of a change here. A format change. First of all, I'm just going to sit here this week and tell you how my week went. And secondly, you're going to notice that this video and some others are going to be a little out of order as I try to catch up on videos that I have not yet completed. So let me get right into it. I'm still having the computer problems. I did manage to regain some functionality after doing a Windows refresh, but you know what? Adobe Premiere Pro is now dropping frames out of my rendered videos, and it pretty much means that my CPU and GPU are on the way out. So I'm on the hunt for a new computer. But when it rains, it pours. You know that saying. And now I may have to get a new gimbal. And that's because the gimbal that I bought earlier this year, the good one that I've been using recently, the G5 from Feiyu Tech, is acting up. The other night before we went out to the 35th anniversary celebration for Epcot, I had this thing plugged in. It turned itself on the counter in the middle of the night and rolled off the counter. After that point, I could no longer get it to turn on without unscrewing the battery compartment and screwing it back on, and the function button is not working very well. Now, I did buy a secondary policy for this thing, but I wanted to reach out to Feiyu Tech first because they do offer a 1-year warranty. Problem is, they're in China. They have no US-based support, and the phone number just wasn't working, so I sent them an email. Now, there's a little bit lost in translation here, and you figure that out once you read the warranty card and you see that there's nowhere to find a serial number, and there are a lot of grammatical errors. They finally did get back to me, and they believe I have a faulty socket board, so they want to send me a new one. They want me to fix it myself. Because of these problems, I decided to leave the GoPro and gimbal behind for the first maintenance run of the week, run number 45. Simply put on a pair of sneakers and a pair of shorts, and it was very liberating. I managed a 10:36 pace despite the fact that it was 80 degrees at the time I started running and 100% humidity. Bunch of tropical waves passing overhead. My second mile, 9 minutes and 40 seconds, and that was with an interval time of around 2 minutes of running and 30 seconds of walking for a short recovery break. I did notice during that run and some over the past few weeks that my feet are starting to hurt, and that's because of the third thing that I think I'm going to need to buy now. You know, a typical running shoe will only last you about 250 to 300 miles if you're doing these really heavy-duty training plans, and I bought these Asics Gel Kayanos back at the beginning of the year. They're starting to break down. The fabric and foam on the inside is worn away. So I'm going to have to get 2 new pairs and get them broken in for Walt Disney World Marathon weekend. I did strap on the old pair and grabbed my handy dandy trusty Feiyu Tech G4 gimbal and Hero 4 Silver, which both still work very well, and headed out for the second maintenance run of the week, run number 46. I am picking up the pace, even carrying a camera. I managed a 10:34 average mile over the 4 miles, and I can't always leave this stuff behind. I'm gonna have to carry a camera and gimbal and put on the heavy waist pack, despite the fact that it's unbalanced, to stay used to it if I want to record the Run Disney races at Walt Disney World. Speaking of Walt Disney World, We did manage to get out there for the 35th anniversary celebration of Epcot despite a downpour and some heavy traffic. I also found a spot that we can all meet up at the Wine and Dine after party.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here to perform a brand new musical tribute, please welcome the Voices of Liberty.
The traffic here on World Drive, you can't even get into the park.
The old Model T, roundabout, the turn of the century, folks, discover a barrel of fun. Take a picture by the light of the sun. Smile, hug, look at the camera, hold your breath and say cheese. Little did they realize back then, they were making memories. Veggie, 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 veggie.
Thank you.
But we're making memories.
Don't bring it in.
Happiness can reappear.
Veggie, 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 veggie.
One little spark, an inspiration. A dream can be a dream come true. With just a spark in me and you, we can dream it and we can do it. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Right here where they held the birthday party for Epcot, the experimental prototype Community of Tomorrow. This is where I'm thinking of doing the meetup during the Wine and Dine half marathon weekend. Mouse Gear is right there. Starbucks is right back there. And there's the main stage. So probably around 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10 on after party night, this is where we'll meet. We had a chance to sample some of the food from the International Food and Wine Festival. They've added a few new booths, places like Thailand and Belgium, and it's pretty good. One thing we avoided while we were out there, the merch line for the pop-up store, the 35th anniversary merchandise, the line went on all day long. Instead, we ran into Starbucks and just got a 35th anniversary mug. Now, for the final run of the week, I decided to leave my waist pack behind, and I simply carried the GoPro and gimbal for the entire 3 miles. Another one of these steamy mornings. I really am ready for some cool temperatures.
Workout complete. You did it.
This run number 47, was a bit slower, a 10:51 pace, probably because it was so humid and muggy. Now, if the weather would start cooperating and fall would arrive and drop the temperatures by about 10 degrees, I know I could actually finish a 10K in probably under an hour. Hey, Spank, come here. Come on. Look who's going to join me for the final bit of this video this week. It's Coach Spanky. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Now, to round out the week, I actually did a free-form, free-flowing conversation with two of my favorite people, Laura from Joyful Miles and Heather Jergensen. And I will put links to both of their channels in the description box below, along with a link to our conversation about vlogging, Run Disney, and running in general. Remember, you can keep me motivated. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this format. It's a little different for me and it's taking some getting used to. I'm going to try to work on some things that are a bit more topical for the coming weeks. And speaking of that, coming up next time, I'm running 33 to 34 miles, and I'm going to talk more about Wine and Dine weekend. Hey there, Bubba.